Hup. Hup. Alright. Hi everybody, unaccustomed as I am to speaking in public. Actually, I'm doing a handheld mic thingy right now. Have a good gym, dear. Now it's off to the house of pain. The house of sweat and pain. Anyway, well, if you've been following this, the microphone stand collapsed a couple of days ago. My friend Scott, who's really handy with these things, is in the process of fixing it. So maybe on Tuesday I'll get that back. I was just worried to talk over this stuff. You may not hear me with the setup the way it is. So, and this is only to say, hi, it's Saturday. It's an uncomfortably muggy yet sunny day here in New York, but it's one of those days where people they have their dander up, you know. I mean, we're in line this morning at the Green Market in Abingdon Square, which we go, for fresh produce they bring in from farms here and seafood and whatnot. People are a lively, snapping, turtleish bunch of people. And anyway, so that's New York for you. You'll never know what's on people's minds, but you can read their faces clearly enough. But vis-a-vis the microphone, I got a beautiful comment on one of my reposted clips of, I think it was the Tuesday show. I generally post them on YouTube the day after I do them, to try and spread the word. They live on my Facebook timeline, which is pretty much available to the public as long as they have the Facebook app. They can see this if they want without being a friend of mine or anything. But anyway, so I'm trying to extend the reach to YouTube. And a guitarist from Asheville wrote a lovely note on the clip, which is, if you scroll down the timeline, you can read it. But he offered to replace the mic stand, free for me, which was amazing. But I couldn't really accept his charitable act here. I just wouldn't feel right. So now I'm leaning on Scott Redstone, if you're listening. Well, anyway, we're going to Philly together tomorrow for a new project, and I will tell you more about it once there's something in the can. I don't want to, shoot my wad about this, but it's very exciting, and it's a long time coming. And anyway. bring every noisemaker in my arsenal. And I'm not even bringing a wah-wah pedal. I might have one though. I used to love these things, you know, the Vox, particularly, I recommend. Jim Dunlop broke down a little bit too much for my taste, but hey. And anyway, well, it's been a wonderful experience playing that for 21 minutes. It's a new world record. No, it's that's sort of my average length of jam on that tune, and I don't know. I'm still fiddling with it. I'd love to add and subtract parts, and I'm in search of a lost chord, basically, and also trying to clean my ears out. That was pretty loud. That's because I had the mic on. Well, anyway, what's come into view this week are some friends of mine sent me some recorded music of theirs, which I finally got around to listening, and I can endorse it officially. Steve Tallis, who is a super amazingly talented Australian griot tribal musician, really good. He was resident in Paris, and he played with me at a very prominent birthday celebration I had in Paris in a club that Edith Piaf used to frequent and perform at. What is the name? In Ménilmontant, I think it was. Or Belleville. I don't know. I gotta ask Carol Beer. He set this gig up. And he's great. Steve's got a new one out entitled Where Many Rivers Meet. It covers quite a few bases in the world music, ethnic music, bluesy spectrum of things. Good stuff. Thank you, Steve. Here's another one. My old pal Bop Tweedy. I don't think that's his real name. I don't know, but great guy. He used to live here in New York. I think he's in LA now. I'm not sure. He's my Facebook friend, and he sent me a new album of his called Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. And there he is on the cover contemplating probably the Pacific Ocean, fully dressed and hatted, and with the guitar case all battered up. And this thing really rocks out like a motherfucker. And Bob used to have a store here where he specialized in recuperating broken down old amplifiers, especially tube amps. And he could fire them up again and make them sound great. And for a guy like my friend Lenny Kay, you know, I think he was one of Bob's customers there, because Lenny believes in these old things. I've had this jazz chorus JC 120 forever, merely because it was when I started to play out in '88 in town here. This was the best deal as far as like lugging it and putting it inside the boot of a taxi or a yellow cab in New York without rupturing yourself. And it's still good for that, although I don't like to take it out much anymore. I've always kind of insisted that the clubs provide the gear. And, well, anyway, Bob, I think he just relocated his business a few years ago, I gotta check, to Los Angeles, and he might still be in that business too. But he was one of the best, and I can tell you, during a major snowstorm blizzard here in New York, about 95, 96, where it took about 2 or 3 days just to dig out the sidewalk outside the building here in the West Village, where there were banks of snow that were up over 6 feet. I'm not kidding. I mean, it was like being in the trenches, kind of, not really. I wouldn't want to experience that, but you know how they dug out World War I vintage trenches, and anyway. So my amp misfired, and I had a gig coming up. And I called him up, and he opened up for me, and somehow I schlepped it out into the street that had been plowed, although that was difficult to, like, climb over a snowbank with this amp. Get it into a yellow cab, take it to the East Village where he was located, and he fixed it right up in time for a gig that I had pending, I think, at the Mercury Lounge, maybe. one of these places I used to play a lot here in town. I don't play that often anymore because there are not that many good places to play, it's sad to say, and I'm not one of these guys I'll just play. I mean, I'd rather play at home for you. To go out and play for a very little crowd for the door does not appeal to me much at all anymore. And I've been there, done that, but, you know, I recommend it. It's a good lesson in toughening up one's hide. Certainly, especially if nobody's there. You know, it's like the empty room tour. Who wants that? Well, anyway, all that is to say, I am playing out here on 9/11, a red letter day, but I've played on 9/11 before. Actually, I played for John Kerry to try and raise funds for him. I think the name of the event was John Kerry Rising. And it was an effort to raise money for his doomed presidential campaign. Sad to say, he got swift-voted. You know the horrible story, starring Republicans. But I did a version of The Rising because, like, Bruce's album was out. Bruce is my old buddy. And, yeah, we had David Krakauer sitting with us. It was me, Ernie, Billy, and Jason, I believe. Anyway, yeah, but that was a 9/11 gig. I played also on a rained-out 9/11 for Pete Seeger's Hudson River cleanup project. The heck is the name of that? In Washington Square Park on a little band shell. And who was I with then? I gotta think. I had some partner or other who was singing. Anyway, it was ghastly, it was muddy and rainy, and nobody really stuck it out, you know, but I did, because I signed up to play there. By gosh, I was going to play there, and okay, there was another 9/11. But this one hopefully will have better weather, but even if it's inclement weather, you couldn't go wrong going indoors to see Gods and Monsters regrouped for, well, I'm sure it's not going to be the last time, but, we don't play often out, and this is the classic lineup, the supergroup lineup of Ernie Brooks on bass, Ernie from the Modern Lovers, and Arthur Russell, and the Necessaries, and lots of stuff. Jerry Harrison will join us on keyboards. Jerry produced the last Gods and Monsters album, which I've got here in the air conditioner window here. Not really blocking the duct, I'm happy to say, because I need all the air I can get today. And that was called The Ordeal of Civility. We worked on it quite hard over some years, and I recommend it, as I would all of my stuff, of course. And we have Jason Candler, who's recovering beautifully from a devastating stroke that would have fallen most people. And by God, he's coming back strong. I think he's actually getting some feeling and flexibility back now. That's good news on his left hand. I don't know if he'll be, I wouldn't recommend he play sax on this gig, but he promised he would learn the fingering on a keyboard to his saxophone parts on a lot of these songs. So Jason is going to be there. And last but not least, Billy Ficca from television, a great old friend and drummer, and Billy will be there. So that is Gods and Monsters, plus the extra added attraction of some great guests. Thurston Moore of Sonic Youth will be there in all of his Sonic Youth glory, blazing guitar, and also Richard Barone from quite a few episodes in the past. I have Richard. He was in Gods Monsters for a while, playing the Mellotron and singing. He actually had a refurbished Mellotron original tapes and everything. That was something to see and hear. We schlepped it. It was a big deal to get it over and back. And but anyway, Richard will be there without the Mellotron, but he'll be in fine voice, great singer. Emily Duff, who is my neighbor actually, who lives about 2 blocks from here in the West Village. And she's got a new album out. Emily is great, and she was in the lineup when Richard was there. And then I worked with her extensively for a couple of years. One of these days we got to redo those songs, right, Emily? We have a whole bunch of goodies to re-record and bring up to date. I'm looking forward to that. Felice Rosser, one of the best singers and bass players I know, who leads the band Faith, fantastic black rock coalition band on the reggae tip and funk tip. And she's a great presence on stage. She's going to join us. And last but not least, Trixie Whitley is going to sing Grace. And she's one of these people who was really profoundly impacted by that album. Okay. So September 11th at 8 o'clock at Le Poisson Rouge on Bleecker and I think it's McDougal Street. It's the old Village Underground. And okay, what else have I got to show you? Check out West Bank Books. I just got a beautiful pulpy version from 1958 on Books of Herbert Asbury's Gangs of New York, which was the source material for the Martin Scorsese film about the Five Points Gang and and Bill the Butcher. You may recall this film. And it came out in the 20s, and it's been published. This has an additional foreword by Asbury. I picked this up for a song at Left Bank Books here on Perry Street, right off 7th Avenue, right next to the old townhouse of formerly Mick Jagger, Sir Mick Jagger, followed by Chris Blackwell, who then sold it to Richard Branson, and it's like right next door to where that thing is. I don't know who lives in there now. And I guess this is coming out. The Beast Concrete Gargoyle is officially released digitally this Wednesday, and I'm going to show a beautiful new image from a video that Dave Pearson is working on assiduously, getting it ready. I think it'll be ready Tuesday for a world premiere at 1 minute after 12 a.m. on Wednesday, August 11th, this coming Wednesday, so you got to tune in because I'll premiere it on Facebook then. And, okay, that's about it. Thank you for tuning in today. Can't wait to see you again on Tuesday. And stay cool. Love you guys. Bye now.